Just kidding. So many intros on this thing. Hi, hello, and how are you? My name is Fred Slow. Alongside me is For Sale Sally Taylor. We're going to give it a minute for the audience to build up here because we didn't do an announcement. You know, it's people weren't waiting. You know, we were kind of waiting for SummerSlam to get over. We got some stuff going on with Duke City Championship Wrestling. We're working on some new projects. So wanted to sit down with the fans and friends of Duke City Championship Wrestling, and we did like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we did like a fun town hall, and I would say, well, let's run it back. You know, let's do it again. So there we go. Oh, here's a good one here. Tommy Two Scoops, whose YouTube channel is Brofficial, is on the Stairmaster, he says. So come see him September the 18th at the historic El Rey Theater as he continues his journey in Duke City Championship Wrestling. Saleh, welcome.
What's happening? What's good? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all them good things. It's a good day, man. How you doing? How you feeling, Fred?
Everything's good. Did not go to SummerSlam. It was originally the plan. Made the decision last Monday on short notice. And tough, you know. So there was some stuff going on here in Albuquerque. It was a big part of Duke's Retro Night over at Ice Stubbs Park, working with the Albuquerque Dukes, who's a sponsor of Duke City Championship Wrestling and a sponsor of my radio show. So it was a really important endeavor, for me to be here. And then SummerSlam, which was in New York or New Jersey or whatever, would have been a good get, but I was at WrestleMania, I was at Royal Rumble, I was at Survivor Series last year. The last PPE I missed in PLE. What's PPE? Personal protective equipment. The last PLE I missed in person was SummerSlam a year ago when my dad passed away. So I was having a little bit of turmoil about it, because it was do I go? I'm not super up on all of the product right now. I'm super dialed in NWA stuff. I'm super dialed in to what we've been doing. But timeline-wise, there was just like a big crunch that didn't work out. So I was like you and so many other fans of pro wrestling, and it was and pro wrestling is best delivered on the television regardless. But a hell of a SummerSlam, right? Like, this is the one people wanted.
So this being the very first two-nighter SummerSlam, they're definitely keeping this model. The fans showed out. They made a bunch of money. They announced over 110,000 combined both nights.
Combined, yeah.
So MetLife fans showed up, man. One of the coolest things that they were doing on being a little bit inclusive. Usually, when introducing everything, they show the other broadcasters the various languages, which is a beautiful flex. But They actually showed it in action on key moments, especially from the first night highlights when Seth Rollins returned. In case you didn't know, Seth Rollins returned on night one.
Yep. Welcome back.
Two big returns on night one and night two. But they showed the various languages, which is a really, really cool new move that they've done to showing their international appeal.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely they're going to keep this model, and I'd say this is a huge success.
Yeah, it went good. Not always does it feel like WWE is in a position where all their top guys are in a healthy status, when it comes to the biggest shows. And I think I'm going to steal from basketball, load management. They've allowed these guys to find health and not necessarily risk a thing before a thing. Also, just some really good brands right now as far as individual wrestlers. But for these guys to all have opportunity at the same time, if it's a Seth Rollins or CM Punk or Gunther or, obviously Cody Rhodes and John Cena, we can kind of run the list. But for all these guys to be able to, be there at the exact same moments and then tell, as you mentioned, 12 hours worth of story over the course of 2 days.
Yeah.
Is it 12? I guess it would have been a little bit less, 10.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but just incredibly impressive. And also SummerSlam, which was Saturday, Sunday, early last week, NWA launched on Roku.
Yes.
So and I have some back of the house emails that I'm not going to disclose in full, but I'm going to tell you this: a tremendous start for NWA on Roku. So NWA is now available worldwide on Roku, which is just incredible. And they did it with the Crockett Cup, which I think is historic of any pro wrestling done ever. It was done at the 2300 Arena there in Philadelphia. I was at the taping for Crockett Cup, so obviously I'm very aware. But it's just top tier pro wrestling done in a top tier manner, and then you go into SmackDown, you go into the weekend with SummerSlam, and then Monday Night Raw tomorrow will set the tone for Survivor Series, which will be here in an instant. Just a banger of pro wrestling week. That's how I feel.
The congratulations once again, by the way, to the Big Papa.
Yeah.
The big show, the NWA going on Roku, which is still a free streaming services. There is commercials in there, but I believe and like NWA Power is available on demand when you have Roku. And so like the first episode that they released pertaining to the Crockett Cup, that is a beautiful way to launch a new way of watching the product. So it's really really great for people to check out what's been going on. NWA is still around. NWA is still doing a thing, and it's getting more traction every day.
Yeah, it's been really great. The live chat is filling up, so welcome everyone. Chelsea Dotson is here. Saw some social media posts from her recently, recovering from a big slap fight injury. It looks like she's on the come up, and I think I've said this to Chelsea, not just personally, but I'll say it publicly now. Like, Chelsea, let's make this pro wrestling ring thing happen. Like I tell you, we're not gonna break your nose, girl. Like you are pretty as heck. You are talented as heck. Let's get Saleh a chance to teach you how to do it the right way, and let's get out there and entertain. Because Chelsea Dotson is a gal who, number one, has a fan base. Number two, moves tickets, and number three, can perform. It's she's the holy trinity of pro wrestling talent. So Chelsea, welcome to the program.
Chelsea, Fred used to say that to me too all the time. You're so pretty, you're so talented, you move tickets, but I've lost two of those three. So, but he means it, and he meant that. Yeah. This will be dope.
She's a talent.
You know, for people to feel the right hand of God.
Angela's here too. She's talking about how there was a fight that broke out in the stands between fans. I'm assuming this is SummerSlam. I didn't see that. Did you see any reports on that?
Although they no sold it, they had to, but I heard the crowd reacting to it. It was awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, New Yorkers go to New York, right? Like that's yeah. Hey, here's a hashtag. Friend of wrestling. Hey, NWA DCCW fam. I like that. We haven't really combined all those into a thing yet. I think I'm seeing a T-shirt in the future. I'm seeing a T-shirt. Hey, here's a fun reference. So this is one here. So we're talking about NWA on Roku, which is again gigantic. And Brian Idol becomes the NWA TV champion. He's the Route 66 champion. Everyone hates his guts. But he goes over Carson Drake in Philadelphia at 2300 during the Crockett Cup. I was there. The crowd was gigantic. Also, there's a non-televised Natty Neidhart match that I bet you will eventually make its way out. And with the Natty Neidhart match, with the Crockett Cup conclusion, with every single talent on that roster going that night, Brian Idol and Carson Drake stole that show. Like they were not last as you define last on a card, but they left nothing left in that crowd when they went out there and worked. And to watch those two guys who are two of the top in the entire industry go at each other, Brian Idol, the NWA TV champion, is as cool of a thing as I've ever seen in person in the world of pro wrestling.
Brian Idol collecting championships and having one from NWA on him just feels right.
Yeah.
And like another one from NWA, because he's currently the NWA DCCW Route 66 champ, which is mad love for that. How awesome would it be for him to go through every territory and get a title from each of them? Could that be a thing?
Hey, that's a gimmick a lot of people have done, right? Like the belt collector kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he could do the hate collector. Like, it's so funny in NWA because he's, at the national level, he's super babyface. At the national level, like you're rooting for him. At the national level, he's that guy. And then, I mean, we know. Yeah, we know better. Like, Big Ed is joining us down from Las Cruces. If you're not familiar with Big Ed, worker for a long time, referee for a long time, has been in the industry a long time, has put on some really banger shows, has done a bunch of fair and outdoor stuff, helped us tremendously, refereed for Duke City Championship Wrestling. If the opportunity ever comes to me, and I believe it will, where we can get representation for pro wrestling in the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame, Big Ed is on my list of consideration of guys who have absolutely moved the sport forward here in New Mexico. So awesome to have him. The other half of Turbo Test, Tony Davis, is with us. Man, a few words, but he contributes some. Here's a little take on for the weekend. Joel Lewevenu, who, by the way, runs the Albuquerque Aardvarks, tremendous competitor, does a ton of outreach for kids in the Albuquerque community. Joined me yesterday at Duke's Retro Night and helped me man the merchandise booth, which had it had solicitors from the second the gates opened at 5:30 Saleh until well after the fireworks had ended at the night. The fan base in Albuquerque celebrating the Dukes, and Joel was right there with me. Says he's a casual fan. CM Punk is so over. It only took him 3 minutes to make that title relevant. And it's no way as relevant if it was won from Gunther, by Rollins. And he's talking about Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank, Saleh.
Yeah, that moment was one of my favorite things. It was kind of funny. I was talking to one of my cousins who's a fellow worker, and as I was talking to them, Seth Rollins, the thing, his music came on, and the both of us, we marked out. We're on the phone talking to each other, FaceTiming. We're marking out, but like, not just that. You got to remember that 3 minutes that CM Punk had the title was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment.
The crowd was there for it.
Oh yeah. Also, you got to remember the look on CM Punk's face. The man's getting older. His age is beginning to show, and it's showing even more so on his face. The bags under his eyes. And then he's leaning into showing the journey he's on. And that moment that was taken away from him, that he's done, that he's witnessed.
And the pairing, like the fake knee brace, like the crutches, Paul Heyman right there, and WWE, which is, so very good at taking an event that's as sized as SummerSlam with, as you mentioned, over 50,000 in attendance, and making it so intimate. You work in film, I've worked in TV forever, and being able to bring that thing in, so where like you're in the middle of a 20 by 20 ring surrounded by 50,000 people. But what is going on? It's like it's being shot in Top Gun. It's like right in Tom Cruise's face. And Seth Rollins no sells the crutches and he does the Jesus pose, and it's not okay if you're a CM Punk fan. And then, as you mentioned, moments away from disaster for old CM Punk.
It's one of those things. I love that. This is my theory on something, by the way. People are talking, why didn't CM Punk leave? Why didn't he move away from the ring? Honestly, he just went through a nice, amazing battle with Gunther. Great show. Even if you got some gas left in the tank, seriously, you have nothing left when you go through it with Gunther.
Well, and are you calling it the moment of the weekend? Like, because if you are,
there's two moments, man.
Yeah, there's two.
We're still in night one.
Yeah, there's two, and obviously the interaction, and then there's so many characters here, right? So it's Seth Rollins and it's CM Punk and it's Paul Heyman, and forgive me, I don't know the referee's name, but the gal one who's really good.
Yeah,
when he's doing the double hand, here's the case, and she's doing the very visible, like confirming, like this is a big decision. That's CM Punk. It's and then by the end of it, you got a 3-part story, and like you said, less than 3 minutes.
Yeah,
like there's a brilliance, and then the real iconic one is, sorry, I know I'm railroading here, is Paul Heyman, holding him from behind, like you're
at a Coldplay concert.
Photos. Yeah.
But you're willing.
just wildly excellent, dude. Just wildly excellent.
Shout out to the production team for WWE, the top of the game. several moments where like you are reminded that this is a live product. But you and I haven't been to like, having been to live events with
Yeah.
WWE. No matter if they're we watch the stuff that's happening in the ring, but anytime things happen outside, we're watching the screen.
Oh, sure.
And so that's one of the tricks is whoever's holding the camera or whoever's directing and producing the segment, they're going to show you what they want to show you. So holding the attention of over 50,000 people in house and them showing you the product that we're going to
Yeah.
aim on this moment and these moments. There is, I can't say this enough with WWE in general. They have great moments.
And I super appreciate this analysis you're giving because you're talking a lot about like the moment. You're talking about the production behind the moment, but there's layers to this with the fans, right? There's the fans in attendance, like that's right here, right? That's the 50,000 in the building. You got to make sure they're in, because if they don't buy into it there in person, it's definitely not going to translate to the TV. And the work, is Seth Rollins' devastating injury out for months, trajectory of the company changed. They're gonna have to figure out a way to move this Money in the Bank contract so that storyline is relevant, not just erasing the Money in the Bank that just occurred. So you end up in this 360 approach of working the internet to work the live audience, to work the TV audience, and you go, is this Inception?
And then after that, you have posts, you have all of the clips that they're about to release. They've been releasing. They're gonna, let's talk about the other big moment from night 2. Brock Lesnar's back.
Well, hold on before you go there, though, because I like your energy because you're so excited about it. But I got about 1 million comments to catch up on here.
Let's go.
Angela's talking about Chelsea versus Angelica Risk. Angelica Risk oh my God, dude. You just remind me of something. She literally just texted me and I forgot to get back to her. So I'm going to do it live on air right now.
Yeah. Whenever Angelica Risk is in contact with anyone, apparently there's a general rule that you have less than 10 minutes to respond or else. That's the Porqueña.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I said just text me. It's been a couple days. I feel bad.
Also, it's been good. It's been great knowing you. And Angelica's on her way already. She's already on her way.
I do not hate it. I do not hate it. Apparently there are a bunch of footage of the fan fight going around. I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy who watches World Star videos and stuff. You know what I mean? But
that's what he has me.
Yeah, this is a good one from I tell you what, creative mastermind Joel Oveno. Shouldn't Brian Idol be the Roku champion now instead of the TV champion? I'm going to tell Billy this. I'm going to screenshot this, send it to Billy, and say, "Hey, we got a point here. Let's get." Didn't TNT does that, don't they?
Yeah, TNT champ, and then they're off TNT. Actually, they're no longer on TNT.
Yeah,
they're keeping it.
The two belt Brian is a very good little reference here. I like this one. This is good when sports and pro wrestling combines. First Ryan Sandberg, then this. That's a funny one. That's
a good cut. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the second city is losing it over the loss of their second baseman. All right, so this is a good one here. So the interesting part of this comment from Jasen is the Willy Wonka reference is the beginning of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right?
Yeah.
Gene Wilder comes out, and Gene Wilder, who is the star, isn't introduced until
the second act
of Willy Wonka. And then there's the build, right? There's like you're establishing your universe, and in Willy Wonka, that's Potterville or whatever the name of the city is, and it's the impoverished Charlie's impoverished family, and we're going through the whole thing, and everything is downtrodden and sad. That is the exact same story with Seth Rollins. It was sad and it was downtrodden, and the universe was that all you had was the bed. You had maybe one chocolate bar a year, that kind of thing. And then whenever they introduced Gene Wilder and Willy Wonka, he comes out with the crutch and it gets stuck in the thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, he's gonna, or the cobblestone or whatever, right? And you're like, oh my God, he's cooked. But he ends up doing the rollout, and you see he's as healthy and lively as ever, and this was all part of the plan. But what's really happening with the audience is you can't trust Willy Wonka. And that is a really good analogy for this. Like you can't trust Seth Rollins.
No.
Never
trust anyone who calls himself the Messiah.
Well, and he got stuck in a minute as just a theme song. There was
you were talking about this. That was his gimmick.
His gimmick was a sing along. And now it's not. Now it's I took my best friend's manager. I hate CM Punk. I've been telling everyone for years I hate CM Punk. I'll fool everyone to fool him. Like, cannot trust Seth Rollins. We should get him on the show. I know Seth a little bit. That would be a pretty easy ask.
All right, so I'm gonna take over this one. So, Big City Warriors talking about your thoughts on WWE bringing in these celebrities. Right now, it's a big risk. It's a big investment on WWE side, having to do 2 days worth of SummerSlam. It costs a lot to do a lot, and whenever you get a chance to bring in someone that can help with clicks, that can help with attention, that can help with ticket sales, they're going to take advantage of that. Jelly Roll. Let me give him like an inverted kind of a Rudy collar. You look at you, 6 foot nothing.
Yeah.
200, no, 300 and nothing.
Yeah.
No nothing, like no muscle in you. But you got heart, and he showed heart. I'd say they did a good job of telling a story. Celebrities in general is a massive, massive, massive risk. The Lawrence Taylor, Bam Bam Bigelow, the Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan and Muhammad Ali. Like all of these things is a risk, but like it sells tickets and it gives buzz. I'd say I believe you're asking about specifically Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, we knew that he couldn't do much. I didn't expect him to do anything.
He didn't do much.
He took like a few good bumps.
Announcers table one.
Yeah. And like you could see that he's preparing for taking the splashes on for those. But like, what more can you expect? The man, he talked about himself. Even when he's locked up, he's never lifted a weight. So having gone through a plan to really transform himself and really, really dedicate himself to the craft for a night to as an entertainer, tell a story, entertain the crowd, and keep people involved. And I'd say for from the not much I was expecting from him, he did good. Logan Paul is one of those celebrities brought in, and he's
the best one.
He is killing it.
He's the best one, and he's the guy you have fight these other guys.
Yeah,
he can be the gatekeeper, and they did that, and it. I tell you, after Jelly Roll wrestled, and again, I'm fortunate in the world of pro wrestling. Like immediately, I get these texts, right? I get the, "Hey, what are they doing? This is a joke. Like this is was Travis Scott so bad? Like I start getting like all that stuff, and I go, hey, and I don't necessarily agree with you, Solly, that it's to sell tickets. I think they're going to sell tickets regardless. I think it's for Fox headlines, and it's for USA Today headlines, and it's for those things. I think that's why he's there. And it's fine.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be, the most impassioned, personal, whatever in the history of pro wrestling. It can definitely be, for the lulz. And that's what it felt like to me. It was for the lulz. Good note here from Joel. It's actually Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, not Willy Wonka. That is correct. I need to apologize to the world.
Well, he's talking about the book. We're talking about the first movie that came out in the 70s, Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
I think it was Charlie, wasn't it?
No, Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
I don't know.
The one with Gene Wilder? It's Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
I'm telling you, I don't know. That's the 71 film. You're right.
Yeah. Don't come for me, my films. I'm a cinephile. I'm a certified cinephile.
You need to be real careful on what people can cut up when you use the word file. Wayne Parsons says, didn't Tony Storm do the King Crush spot a few weeks ago? What's old is new. There's no new. Everything's stolen in pro wrestling. Yeah.
For the most part, different crowd too.
Yeah, Kevin Nash did it in a wheelchair in a fake cast. Like, it's been done.
When he stood up. It's the Willy Wonka spot. So the spot didn't originate from wrestling.
Yeah. I got a text here talking about celebrities who became pro wrestlers.
Mr. T.
Yeah, look, yeah, Misty's on it. Bad Bunny, obviously, people mentioned.
Great match. Still,
Yeah, incredibly good at it. But yeah, there's a handful of them. That's a different program for a different time. But there's
when
a
it's done
lot
right,
of them.
when it's done right, it's done really well. Bad
Yeah,
Bunny in Puerto Rico against Damian Priest. Two boys from the El Barrio going at it. Well, El Barrio, sorry, that's New York. My bad. Two boys from two Boricuas going at it
yeah.
in a hometown. That crowd was electric. Um, you got Lawrence Taylor with a team like
So
around.
yeah, the athlete one's interesting because I would tell you Dennis Rodman. Like if I'm going to start naming like athletes who came into it to do also there's like Ron Simmons and Mongo McMichael, and you want to say Dwayne the
Jay
Rock Johnson,
Leno,
and well, that's
Jay
an
Leno,
didn't what was the name of the fat dude from The Price is Right? He like won the championship one.
Drew Carey.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
No,
That
but
doesn't-
talking about athletes who's crossed over. Um, shoot. From what's it?
gonna stutter over one. I'm ready for it.
From Street Profits.
There's a bunch
Street,
of them.
no, from Street Profits. Taller, and I have someone else in my head. No,
Like
he's played for
who are the
Bills.
wrestlers? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
D'Angelo Dawkins or Montez Ford?
Dawkins. He used to play for the Bills.
Right. Yeah, Angelo Dawkins. Correct.
I remember that, but not his name. Yeah, my brain
That's
is
right.
Swiss cheese.
Oh, Brock
right
Lesnar. I mean, Brock Lesnar was everything.
Vikings.
And I guess that's, yeah. Well, not. Well, also like collegiate wrestler. And I guess that's Kurt Angle. Ronda Rousey.
Broken freaking neck.
Yeah, all right. So from the texter, Karl Malone was the best celeb wrestler. That's not accurate. Sorry, Chad.
That is
that's a real thing.
You just
no, just no. You're talking obviously about Brock Lesnar. Good, right? Like it's a tough one because there's a bunch of really weird accusations. There's a bunch of really weird accusations of all the stuff with Vince McMahon, and he's not named proper in any of this stuff, but it's understood to be him in a lot of this stuff. And the world of pro, like Hulk Hogan dies, like we don't do like a celebration episode, because I can't really separate art from the artist, but he's here. It seems as if he has a relatively clean slate, like as a person outside of pro wrestling, outside of where there's smoke, there's probably fire. But how fitting it is to end, John Cena's run with Brock Lesnar as part of that. Like it wouldn't make sense. It would be forever articles on whatever wrestling media if they didn't do that. Like why didn't they John Cena, Brock Lesnar, why didn't they make the effort to get these guys in a final run? So here it is. Final run.
Now it feels like a final run.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cena and his match, this was vintage Cena. He went through. We saw Super Cena. We saw experimental Cena. We saw like Cena throughout his career, and it was really really cool seeing Cena come back and be himself a bit, or how people remember him.
Are you talking about the start when they embraced? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not just that. Like throughout the match, we saw Super Cena again tonight when he kicked out of the third on the triple crossroads. Like the crowd acknowledged it, and then him throwing throwing Cody through the table, through the announcing booth. Like it was a beautiful thing, a beautiful letter of like, this is all of the Cenas that we remember. And it was really fun seeing that in the crowd, like unironically enjoying it. And it was crazy because like Cody was getting some heat, throughout the day, throughout the match. And that was really cool. And I was hoping that we could see Cody lean into Homelander. Like, I've been waiting for Cody to turn heel. I hope he kind of turns into a bit of a column.
that part's not going to happen. I mean, I feel your energy on it. The Cody Rhodes currently, not Cody Rhodes Stardust, not Cody Rhodes the first iteration, not Cody Rhodes AEW. Cody Rhodes currently. The American Dream 2.0, Cody Rhodes.
Yes. American Nightmare.
Yeah, the American Nightmare. Let me apologize. Is John Cena.
Yeah.
Like it is. Those two, and you saw at the beginning of the match, they hug.
Yes.
And then they both take half a step back and they go to blows, and this thing starts, and they immediately go out of the ring. And for some reason, Tyrese Halliburton's there. And
He's hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out. And like you said, it's all the spots. It's all the really good spots. And then the finish. The finish is Cody Rhodes dethroning John Cena at SummerSlam.
Or passing the torch.
Do you feel like that's the verbiage? Because I guess it is, because afterwards hands him the title. The referee doesn't hand him the title. Yeah. They hug. They have this thing. And then the champion leaves first, leaving John Cena in the ring for, as you mentioned, what's at least, in my opinion, closing on the final chapter, which is old Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Because that'll be Survivor Series.
That will be.
Yeah. You don't waste that at New Halloween Havoc or whatever they call it.
The NXT's Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
I kind of would love to see that. That would be insane. No, that's definitely the Survivor Series card is definitely beginning to fill up, and I'm about it. I have a little thing I need to talk about right quick.
Yeah, give it to me.
The cage match was okay. Solo and Jacob did a good job, but I know that a lot of people are expecting more, and I'm happy with what they did. It's another. I'd say it's leaning into the story once again. Like Jacob is dope, Jimmy's great, but it's a numbers game. So I'm pretty sure there's something in the story that like more people would join Team Jacob, I guess. But I know that there's several people who are a little bit upset with the cage match because they were expecting more. But I'm really leaning in on the story that they're telling. With Tala Tonga Loa and and JC.
That story's going to be tough, I think, for the audience. There's so many, number one, similar athletes. Not just in appearance, but in moveset and delivery. Yeah. And not to pull a line out of Rikishi's book, but you can be a wrestler who's Samoan, or you could be a Samoan wrestler. And these guys really got to start differentiating themselves from each other if they're going to draw attention, because like you mentioned with Solo and Jacob Fatu, they had to add the gimmick cage, and I know they added the gimmick street fight with Cena and Rhodes, and they did destroy the ring a little bit, which was obviously part of the story. But like, if you fast forward a little bit or look back, my apologies, like when AJ Styles comes out with Eddie Guerrero's emotes, he's doing the dance. He comes out in the lowrider to fight Dominic Mysterio. Now his shirt says Styles Heat. Yeah, how many long-haired white guy wrestlers have we seen in our life? The answer is thousands. But how many AJ Styles have we seen? One. And that's the thing that I feel. And Rikishi literally just said this on social media the other day, where he's like, you guys all can't keep doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I do feel like you mentioned it was good, not great. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. That's my opinion.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when you're watching a movie and that they're setting up the next thing. Like, I want to enjoy some stuff now. Stop mentioning things that are going to happen and you're gonna have me spend more money to the next thing. Like, give me something good now, and then justify the next thing.
Well, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of truth to what you're saying there. You know, I want to have multiple courses to my meal, but I eventually
Yeah.
want to get to the main. Um, you and I both know a little bit about pro wrestling. We're going to peel back the apron just a little bit here. The apron, excuse me, the curtain. Jacob Fatu does the moonsault off the top of the cage. By the way, tremendous athlete. But
Insane, dude. I love him.
he does it off this steel plate that's up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he definitely talked WWE into putting that steel plate up there, right? Like, there's no way, because I've never seen that steel plate one time on a cage, and now it's in every corner.
Yeah,
Like,
the justification for it is we might put some cameras up there. We might put a cameraman up there. Like,
is that they didn't say
no,
that?
yeah, no cameraman is gonna climb with the equipment
No.
to get that shot.
Oh.
But that's a fun way to kayfabe that. Like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna get some unique angles from that. Oh, that's a great way to kayfabe that. But like that corner's now there for Survivor Series too, like for the War Games. But like they put a bigger plate.
Yeah. Not to gloss over it, people claim to love women's wrestling. People claim to love multi-man tag stuff. Both those started the night really well, so those were good. I mean, they don't need a ton of analysis from us. But here we go. Yeah, from the chat, because we're going through it. Oh my gosh, I turned my head for 2 seconds, and now it's going do. Terrible radio. Here we go. Deep cut. Brock Lesnar versus Cena now feels like the movie Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I don't get that. Marvelous Jaden Monroe is with us because he probably wants to hear his name said. He's that type of person.
Respect.
Lots of people are behind Homelander Cody as opposed to babyface Cody. I tell you what, the most heel thing Cody Rhodes can do is not give you heel Cody Rhodes.
It's good heat.
Like, it's as good as it gets. I do like this branding of Legacy Cody. I think that's super smart. This is a good note here. Cody is everything they wanted Lex Luger to be.
The
Narcissus is Lex Luger, probably.
No, the Merc and when Hogan left.
Yeah.
The tour and the was it the USS
Enterprise or whatever it was, the Donald Reagan or whatever. There's maybe some truth there. There's maybe some truth there. Cody Rhodes is got it in a way that Lex Luger didn't, as far as Good Morning America.
And
as
connecting.
Far as like that's a real thing. All right, so from Wayne, they've had that played on the cage for a few years. I'm gonna show my ignorance then. Let me apologize. I feel there's always like a reason. Yeah. I'd have to go back and figure out when the first time was, but there's that. Lots of EO Sky fans in this chat. Yes. Here we go. Tama Tonga and Zilla coming. What do you know about that?
Thomas still hurt. He's been in rehab. I know that. Zilla, anything's possible.
He's doing TNA stuff. Is that right?
He made an appearance. Did a tag match. It was a trios match. And great stuff. Jeff Hardy, a nice little throwback where Jeff Hardy did face paint Zilla. And that was like a beautiful thing where showing Jeff Hardy and his dad Umaga, Uncle Eki, were like, they were really, really close. So like Jeff Hardy showing some love. That's a cool thing. They're testing the waters. It kind of feels like TNA lately has been a bit of a beta testing for something for bigger over a medium crowd. And not just that, you also have AAA. You got Dominic Mysterio, who made his debut a couple of weeks ago, and who's going to be at the next show in a couple of weeks.
I wish I would have caught one of those AAA contracts before WWE bought them. Like there's a little bit of back of the house talk,
Mhm.
but there are so many dudes right now
So many.
that had AAA contracts that aren't like they're just not working, but they still like it's still coming to them. And I'm going, oh, like I need a stronger character presence. Like I'm screwed up so bad. Nikki Bella said, "Are you familiar with the advancement in breast implants and athletics? Are you up to speed on any of this stuff?"
No, I might need one though.
Yeah, okay. Um, so there's athletes breast implants now, and there have been for several years.
Yes.
Like for several years, but WWE was a big part of this, um, because before, and you remember like the 90s, it just bolted on there,
Yeah.
whatever kind of thing. And it's like this under the muscle, it's a different style of implant, right? But with that said, all of the WWE athletes that you're historically familiar with, which had augmentation, they were a big part of this, and it kind of started in Scottsdale. So there was this guy, I'm not joking, his name's Steven Weiner, like that's his name. But he was kind of like the forefront of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if this Nikki, what'd she say, got pushed down inside her ribs or something?
Yeah.
It's all work. So she'll get the newest version of whatever and come back in the best shape, whatever. And then we'll, be able to have a big impact in new implants. So
one of the coolest things about it's tough, especially if you're upper mid card down. If you're talking like a traditional sense of the placement in a company for talent, it's tough for you to get justified kayfabe time off. But for those who are who are up there, who are recognizable face and name, they're like, hey, this thing happened to me. I need to go get this checked. I need to go get this done. Like, all right, cool. We're gonna run you over with a car. You'll be gone for 6 months and have get your neck surgery. And then we'll do a whole storyline and we'll justify your return. Or hey, it fell in your rib, and then we'll see you back in 4 or 5 months, and we'll it's just it's one of those things. I love the insane stories where they push at us, but I'm like, oh, something else is happening. Like Liv Morgan. Everyone knows that she's not filming a movie, but she's injured. She messed up her when she got injured with the arm.
Yeah.
Like I love these stories when you have to earn your time off, especially like when you're top name. And it's a double-edged sword. We're like, all right, I'm gonna get my time off, and there's a story with it, but I'm gonna have to get my butt kicked for a bit.
Yeah.
Or when was it Kevin Nash that threw Rey Mysterio? He wanted them to be thrown through a trailer window. He darted him at the wall of the trailer, and Rey got like a little vacation from that. But it is cool. So when you see these things,
yeah, that's clever. It's clever. And then Piper Nevin, who's already hated pretty substantially. Because I guess she's the one who dropped the elbow. Is that your understanding?
Yeah.
Like
it was a harsh elbow.
It was harsh, but when eventually Nikki Bella comes back, which I mean I don't know enough about timelines on this stuff, but when she does come back, if it's Survivor Series or the one after that would be Royal Rumble, but there's the little ones in between, whatever the December one is. Hey, also, like no spoilers. I'm not a spoiler guy. But pro wrestling fans in Albuquerque specifically, keep your eyes on the Rio Rancho Event Center for an upcoming announcement. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Word.
I'm going to say Survivor Series is always Thanksgiving weekend. And the lead up to that is really substantial. And that is going to go through Albuquerque. So keep your eye on that. Like there's something there.
They are on their way back to the west, so, and they have to
Mhm.
make some stops. It's a big company. There's a
Big,
lot of production companies, a
lot
lot of
going on.
production trucks, and they have to make some
Just
stops.
just keep your eye on it. Some cool stuff going on. We got some cool stuff going on too. September the 18th, that is our next pro wrestling show. That's at the historic El Rey Theater. You can go see Duke City Championship Wrestling in person. We made the big announcement a week ago, 2 weeks ago. We've sold like a ton of tickets.
Oh
Like
wow!
people are excited to have it back. So Sully Taylor will be performing, so we're very excited about that.
I'm still talking to my people about it. Yeah,
No, you're not. You don't have people.
I got
I'm your
people.
person.
You're one of my people. You are one of my people.
That's what I need to do full time. Is just step completely back. Also, fun note for Duke City Championship Wrestling NWA New Mexico. We were on set this week, so we were filming a movie with Tom Segura. We're doing this like comedy thing. So, anyways, none of our performers are in it. None of our guys are in it, but our pro wrestling ring is prominent. So there's a big story arc in this new Tom Segura thing. So just get excited for that because we should do something fun with it. Now I said this is so funny, Sally. I sent an email. You work in the world of film. I sent an email and I was like, hey, I don't want like a production credit, but in the end credits, I just want like a thank you to Duke City. It was so funny. You've been on a million movie sets, so I don't know how much this is going to impress you, but it's a new thing for friends of pro wrestling. You show up, and I mean, how many people does it take to make a movie? Hundreds? Is it hundreds?
It could take up to that. Yeah.
I mean, there was 100 people at this thing, and we show up to build a pro wrestling ring. So it's like me and Thunder, and we're going out there and. How little do I know about anything, so I show up at and they're like, hey man, which way do you think it'd be best? Or I go, this is your movie. I go, you guys gonna put like a canopy over it or anything? Because they didn't talk to me about that. And I'm like, because if you aren't, do not wrestle on it during the day. It will be very hot. And they're like, oh yeah, we didn't think about that. Like, cool. Like, do you want me to go get one? Like, I'll have to charge it. But there's so anyway, so we go. But the premise is it's in this like super nice backyard. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of these like mansion houses over in Corrales, and but they put up like all these like lights and put up like it looked like the way that you think like an extreme partying night, including pro wrestling, would look. And at the end, you go, "Oh, it's really shined up. Like they really shined it up well." So anyway, so super excited about that. So NWA New Mexico's in the movies now. So cool.
Hell yeah.
Weird.
I'm not the only one.
Also
That's
here
good.
from the live chat, it looks like the old radio station in Roswell was maybe part of the shooting. That makes sense. This story is kind of cool. Yeah, bunch of stuff. The wait has been long for the next pro wrestling show, but we're excited to have people out to it. Duke City Championship Wrestling returns to the historic El Rey Theater. That is September the 18th. Come out and see us there. It is hard reset. Doors at 6, bell at 7. DCCWtickets.com. Saleh, final thoughts, brother?
I'm grateful, and I appreciate y'all. September 18th, that Thursday, the beautiful day, beautiful night, back in the beautiful and historic El Rey Theater. We're working towards it. I'm still talking to my people. We'll see.
No, you're not.
And then we'll figure it out from there.
It's already figured out. You don't have any people.
I'll figure out where to find people.
You're talking to people about finding people?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
You are the Willy Wonka of pro wrestling.
Thank you. That is the nicest thing you've said to me.
Going over, I think a lot of people are aware, for a long time we were airing on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal here in Albuquerque. You know, that's where my radio show is terrestrially Monday through Friday. We do have a big announcement on the program. It's got a new home, so we're super excited about that. We have one meeting this week, which is pretty substantial, and then after that, we're got a big announcement to come. So this avenue will afford us a little more opportunity to, number one, be consistent, but number two, tell neat stories. You know, so we're excited to do that. So stay tuned for a big announcement we're going over, including a third rotating seat, which is going to put spotlight on individuals who are contributors to the pro wrestling industry. It's good times. It's a good time for wrestling right now.
It is. And I can't wait to talk to my people about that.
Also, Cracker Barrel, call me. Would love to put your name on a thing.
I would love. We could do a live show from there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It'll turn into ASMR real quick.
I need some loaded casts in my life. I need it bad.
I love that.
From myself, for Sally Taylor. Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.